evening, traders from across the globe. Welcome to my 2505th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Traders, wow, it's insane what's going on out there. Have you seen Jerome Powell came out, gave the markets one punch. Crude came out, gave the markets another punch, and down they went. In fact, Jerome Powell and crude oil rocking the market's boat. I'll show you the charts. Nothing we can do about that but trade what we see. Traders never, ever play this game without stops. Put them in first. This is a very risky game. Volatility has gone through the roof. Never get into a trading position. Commodities, futures, stocks, ETFs, crypto, never get into a position like that without putting your protective stops in first, okay? Let's get moving here. So, for trading on 12/16, which is a Friday, December 16th, Jerome Powell came out and just punched these markets down, right? He came out very hawkish in the first 7 minutes of his speech, or I should say of his answering questions phase. Then he got kind of nice about the markets, a little bit of rosy, and then he got hawkish again, all in the same 40 minutes or an hour, and the markets are feeling it. Now, I have mentioned to you many times that the price of crude at 77 has got a lot to do with this market movement. I will show you why together. Both Jerome Powell of the Fed and crude oil are rocking this market's boat. Number 2 on the board. Free seminar this Saturday. Traders, sign up. The link will be right below this video. Absolutely free. I am going to spend the next 48 hours figuring out what the heck is going on here and present that to you on Saturday. Again, free webinar. I'll be there. There'll be 3 or 4 other presenters. Definitely hang out for my presentation. That is Saturday tomorrow. If you're watching this video on Friday, it is for Saturday. So make sure you click the link below and sign up for my free webinar. Number 3 on the board. We are now accepting OmniCamp applications, baby. The next OmniCamp, we have finally come up with a date, February 2nd through the 6th. I will accept only 5 traders. No matter how many applications I get, I will plow through them. I will call you, but I will only qualify 5 of you for this event. Make sure you fill out your Omni applications now. Fill them out either at livewithoscar.com or go to omnibootcamp.com and fill out an application there. I will call you personally, and that is for February's OmniCamp. That is the 2nd through the 6th. You show up in Vegas on a Thursday, you check in, we work together all day Thursday, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Well, actually, we don't work together Thursday. You show up Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. You go home on Tuesday, and I'll tell you right now, traders, I'm inviting you to my home office. This is as real as it gets, and if you've got something to sell to someone that's not real, you don't invite them to your home where your wife and children live. At the same time, it doesn't matter who you are, you must be accepted by me to show up here, again, because it's my home. In fact, quick story, I had a guy who filled out an application once. I called him not too long ago. And I said, hey, I'd like to talk to you about camp, see if you qualify. And you know what he said to me? Oh, I get it, Oscar. Whoever has the money qualifies, right? And I went, who? The guy on the other end of the phone, I went, listen to this sound. This is the last sound you'll ever hear from me, asshole. And I hung up on him. That is not how you get invited to my OmniCamp. It is whether or not I think you're suitable for it. It is whether or not I like your personality. I'm inviting you to my home. That is not something that you should take lightly. If you'd like to be invited here for 5 nights, 4 days, and work with me, that's February 2nd through the 6th. You make sure you fill out your OmniCamp applications today at omnibootcamp.com. All right, traders, that's about all I have to advertise. Now I want to show you these great charts because that's all I've been looking at for the last 10 hours. Wow is all I can say, and I'll show them to you again. Jerome Powell and crude really doing a job on the stock market, and I guess that's the thesis of tonight's video and the charts that I'm about to show you next. Just remember one last thing before we look at these pretty charts. That's to keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to keep your emotions at bay is to put your stop in first before you trade. Then say this to yourselves over and over again, and by now you should know what that is. ready? Stops are in. Boy, oh boy. Emotions are out. Rock and roll traders, thank you for tuning in. Now, with no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Traders, the NASDAQ daily bar. You look at that chart and go, Oscar, flag. Isn't that a perfect flag? Look, we're right at the bottom of the flag. And at first glance, you would say, yes, that is a bull flag. Looks great. But keep in mind that we are below the 50-bar moving average right now. And we did settle below the bottom end of this flag. But let's go look at the other sisters or brothers of the NASDAQ, if you will. And let's see what they have to say about this being a flag. So, next on the agenda, I think you're going to appreciate these charts, is the Dow Jones Daily. Now, the Dow Jones tells NASDAQ, you're not going to hold, because I didn't. Look at the way it fell out of this flag. Has come all the way back and hit what used to be resistance. Now deemed support for now, but if it gets through it and back towards the 200, boy, oh boy, it's going to get ugly. But the purpose of this chart is to show you that NASDAQ will probably break below its flag because the Dow certainly did. Next chart. E-mini S&P. Now check this out. These weird flags are all over the place. If you recall, I showed you this chart when it was just forming and the flag line was only that long. And it was like that. Well, the flag continued and continued, and I drew some extra lines. Look what happened when Jerome Powell spoke. The night before, and then down you went. Right to the top of the line. I mean, like it was meant to be. The bigger problem is this. Massive failure at the 200-bar moving average and this red resistance line. The third time in a row. Failure. Failure. Tried really hard and failed. And look at this support line here. You even got through that. That, my friends, does not look good for day trading on Friday. Now, I will tell you that we don't get too many more than 3 days in a row together are rare to find on the downside. You know, you get 3. Lots of times you don't get more than 3 big bars in a row. So be cautious tomorrow. I do want you to get short, but take your profits when the market dumps. And let's continue on. The same chart now, E-mini S&P, as you can see, has broken through this major support. And look where it is now. Not only did it fail at the 200-bar moving average miserably, but now it's at the 50. And the street is watching. I promise you, you get below that 50 and you will tumble. Just like when you get above it, you rally. You get below it, you will tumble. Not good for your E-mini S&P, at least for day trading on Friday. Remember, we're going to be quick because you don't get a lot of these 3 days strung in a row, but you do get them. So we're going to look for that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday combination. Russell 2000 once again tells us that the NASDAQ will not hold because the Russell didn't hold. And the Russell is well below the 50-bar moving average, below this, whatever this was, some sort of a flag forming or whatever you want to call it, a channel. Below that, so I think the NASDAQ is going to feel the pain because the other markets are taking it down with it. But watch this start to get interesting. Of course, we've got a weekly chart. You've seen this in every video for the last few months practically, how we keep failing miserably at that resistance line. And as good as it looked right here, look what happened in these last 2 weeks. Failing again miserably. Now watch this. Check this out because this is something that I've been telling you about, and now it is time to show it to you. Look at what's happened here in the last few days. First of all, the Dow Jones Transportation Average is the chart with the worst failures of all of them. Failed again at the 200-bar moving average and a major trend line. Gets back to it. Above, gets under it. But then it gets back above. This one looks good, but no, that won't be the case because as of the close on Thursday, we are all the way back down here. Now, the interesting thing about this is what comes up next. Crude is what's interesting about this. I have told you many, many times that crude around the 77 level is very important in all markets, okay? Now, check this out. Crude oil, for the first time in a while, starts to get back down under 77. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days ago. 8 days ago is when we finally started to crack back below 77. And I've told you many times, if we get crude under 77, the stock market gets bullish. When crude's above 77, stock market gets bearish, right? Okay, crude 77 8 days ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check this out. So crude gets under 77 8 days ago, which should propel the market higher. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly 8 days ago, the bottom gets put in. Just when crude got under 77. The problem is crude just got back up to 77 and the market's feeling it back down already. But exactly 8 days, exactly when crude got below 77, we started to bottom and put in this nice fat run. Then crude gets above 77, gets back to near 80, and look what happens. We come right back down again. Right now, these markets are very, very sensitive to the price of crude oil. Keep that in mind. We are selling rallies for trading on Friday, but knowing that you usually don't get more than 3 red bars together. So be careful. Here, another 3. But you don't get 4, 5, or 6. You know what I mean? So be careful. We're going to sell a big rally. When it comes down, we're going to get out and sidestep the market. If we can get a fill, that's our play. Traders, good luck trading out there. Make sure you join me at livewithoscar.com and fill out those OmniCamp applications now.